Hi there and welcome back to Sailing Embla, episode number 25. I know what you're thinking, who's this dude? Well, I'm my evil twin actually. No, seriously, I just had to cut the beard. It was really killing me. It was dry as hell and I was itching and scratching all the time. So I had to let it go. And during the winter I needed to kind of clean up my act some. Well, the last episode of Sailing Embla was shot in late October 2017, and we are now in the middle of January 2018, and as you can see around me we have winter. I don't think it has been so much snow here in Egersund for 10 years or something, and yeah, it isn't too bad. I'm used to way more, and it isn't too cold either. It's 3 degrees plus. Anywho, living on the boat has been okay, I guess. I haven't had any problem keeping up the temperature down below, and I sleep just fine even when it's stormy here. I actually sleep better when it's windy. So what have I been up to since then? Well, a lot of things has happened, not particularly good things, but I hope I'm out of the woods right now. So, but right now I'm going to go with Shabby for a stroll, and come along and I'll tell you all about it. So, as you can see, we have a little snow. This boat, however, came in for some 3-4 weeks ago, and it's like a ghost ship. He came in here and he had some problems because there were absolutely no wind and the engine failed. So he was pulled in by the rescue vessel over there into this harbor here, and he just left the boat here. I guess he's coming back for it, but who knows when. So now we are gonna go for a little walk. I guess you could say it was 2 reasons besides getting away from the stormy season up here in the north that I went here. And the first thing was, of course, replenishing the budget for next year's sail, because it was kind of gone. And the next thing was some minor upgrades on the boat. To do those things, I happen to need a job. That's why I applied for some work locally. So I just sent out some applications. Didn't get any callbacks whatsoever, and as I could see, you know, my bank account was getting low. I started to panic, really panic, because I have loans and stuff I need to pay in order to keep my boat, and I don't want to really lose my boat. So I started panicking and just applied for work wherever in all of this fylke. It's called Rogaland fylke, which is in I guess in Sweden it's a län, or maybe a county, I guess. In the States you would say a county. So I just applied all over this fylke, Rogaland here, and there's one major city, well, major for Norway, that is Stavanger, and as soon as I applied up there, I got a call back within a week or so. It was really fast, and I got a job, and it's fine. It's Not what I'm usually doing, but it's still working with people, and the pay is really good. The only bad thing about that job is the commute. And yeah, it gets old real fast, that's for sure. And also, even though the payment are good, it's only a part-time job, which means that my salary ain't that high, really. But it's enough to survive on. I can pay my bills, and I don't have to sell my boat. Whew. And I can buy some food and stuff. So I guess that's good enough for now. But I need to find more hours, because if I worked 100%, I would have more than enough to save up for next year's sail. So that is the issue now. And also, I need to sail on. I can't really stay here in Egersund if I have work in Stavanger. It's much easier and much cheaper to be up there. So I have located a couple of harbors up there which I can stay. In order to get up to Stavanger, or Tananger, which is just outside of Stavanger, I need to sail past an area called Jæren, and on the top there's a reef called Jærensrev, which is a cold water reef, one of the biggest in Europe or the world. I don't recall right now. Anyhow, according to the pilot guide, there's dangerous waves and so on again. So it's one of those really exposed coastlines. And the problem is that I was a little, I wouldn't say scared, but anxious perhaps, about going around Lindesnes on my own, since I've never done it. But it was really no problem at all. And then I went past Lista, and Lista is 3 times the size of Lindesnes. And then it's Jæren now, and Jæren is, I don't know, it's gotta be 5 times the size of Lista again. And it's in the middle of the winter, so the weather could change just like that. And I'm sailing alone, and it's cold. So I am a little worried about this trip here. So we are back at the boat. The camera just stopped. I don't think the iPhone battery handles cold very well. I had about 40% battery, and it just dropped to 0 in no time. Now I'm gonna do some dishes, and I don't have a water heater on board. So I usually just wash my dishes with water from outside. And right here where we are now, there are 2 rivers that comes down. And since the water is always flowing, it never freezes here. But it is so cold to do the dishes in this water. Oh, it is really freezing. So well, that's how living on a boat in the winter time up here in the north is. So I have to do that. I have no luxuries on board at all. Maybe I should have a water heater. Maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Let's do some dishes. Gotta get rid of this. This Helly Hansen jacket is really warm. This is how I do it. And there were no meatballs today. No spaghetti meatballs. I'm eating rice and beans, actually, since since I am more or less broke. As I said before, I had very little money, and I got a job up in Stavanger. So I got working, but I only got 1 week in for this salary. So I only got paid for 1 week, and that was enough, well, at least to buy some food and stuff, so, and pay some bills, but nothing extra at all. So I really need to be cheap now until I get my next salary, which would hopefully be much better. So I am eating a lot of rice and beans. I bought a ton of these guys, beans in tomato sauce, and I vary that with kidney beans with these, and I cook these, and I take some onion like I have here, and I put that in there, and I also have some cabbage, which I use, and some broccoli in here, and it's actually quite good. I'm getting used to it. I think it's quite tasty with some spices and stuff. It's enough for me anyway. So I gotta live cheaply now for a couple of more weeks until my next payment comes, and then I probably can breathe a little easier. I think the water temperature is about 2 degrees outside now, so it's quite cold. So that's it. The dishes are done, and I am working on the next episode while I am looking at YouTube. That's one good thing about staying somewhere during the winter, and that is that you can catch up on a lot of these channels you are watching on YouTube. Like now I'm watching the newest episode of Delos, and it's really great. The only bad thing about Delos is that they have so many episodes. They've been out there for, is it 7 years or something? And so there's a lot of catching up to do. And right now they are in St. Helena's, and it's a difference from being up here in the cold Norway. And up here, it's right now it's about zero degrees. Today, when it's a little cold and little, I have to admit, you know, when I decided to go past Lindesnes, I probably should have turned south instead of north. So it looks a lot better down south. Anyway, I shouldn't complain. It is warm enough in here, and you have to wear a thick sweater sometimes, like today when it's cold outside, but it is fine. I better start working on the rest of episode 25, so I get that out today, I guess. And I guess that's it for this episode. So thank you guys for watching, and please help me with subscribing and pressing a like on this episode, and I'll talk to you next time, I guess. Bye bye!